Hi, welcome back into the Happy Place Garden. I'm Melinda, and we are in the Pacific Northwest, and it is May, so I thought today would be a great day because we have beautiful weather to do a little garden tour for you. It is spring and I am a realtor, so this is like my busy time of year, and the garden, everything is growing, and so garden time, it's busy too. And it's been a crazy busy week, and so I haven't had much time out here other than to just, spend a little time and enjoy it. But everything is so lush and so green. In the Pacific Northwest, having all the rain that we have, it just makes everything just beautiful and grows so fast this time of year. And this week we are in kind of a warm spell finally. We had been like in the 40s or 50s for a long time, so we had a really late spring. But now we're supposed to get into the 90s this coming week, and it's just been perfect weather for things to grow and look beautiful. So I didn't, even though my garden is not perfect right now, I haven't weeded, so don't look at that. Don't look at the mulch. Don't look at the grass or weed whacking things. But I wanted to take you around so you could just see the blossoms in the spring here before we lose them. So I hope you enjoy the tour, and we'll show you everything that's we've got to look at today. So thanks for joining me. Okay, so we are going to start off with this beautiful lilac. This is from my grandma. It was her neighbor had it, and it's a little start that I've had in a pot, and I've trained it in kind of topiary form. But I just love it. The blooms are so beautiful and it smells so good. And it reminds me of my grandma who passed a couple years ago. So I just love it. And that is a native fern there that kind of made its home here. Don't know if I love it or not, but it's green and looks pretty now. So leaving it for now. And we are behind the chicken coop. And here's the stairs. We've got some of the creeping thyme that has grown up over this area, and some of the ground strawberries, the little ground cover, and down to the lilac pot. Really fun area in the morning time. It just is cool and gets the morning sun. It's just really pretty. And some azaleas that are in bloom. Here I transplanted some purple asters and some of the sea thrift, and the sea thrift is looking pretty good. It's doing pretty well. There's one over there that one's not looking so good, but the rest are looking pretty good. And we've got this coral bark maple that is leafed out. Got my boxwoods. I've been having issues with my boxwood from last year, so this one not looking so good, but the rest are all like really greening up. We've got all this really soft new growth, so I haven't trimmed them yet, and I'm afraid to, honestly, because that's what happened last year. Is I think I trimmed them and then we got warm weather, so it had all this tender growth that I sheared off, and then it just kind of burned the underneath. So I'm gonna be really careful and maybe not trim until the new growth has hardened off a little bit. And we've got a privet here behind the coop, and the hostas that I divided, they're coming in, looking great. Another hosta and azalea. And then on the other side of the chicken coop, this is my rain barrel, which needs to be cleaned, as you can see here. But we've got a clematis that's growing up, and usually it gets these like magenta colored blooms. I forget what the variety is, but it won't bloom until it reaches the sun way up here. So we'll see how it does this year. I changed out the trellis and put the trellis on the side of my vegetable garden with some new clematis. So we've got some hosta, some more boxwood, some primroses that are in bloom. This azalea just finished. That's an evergreen azalea. Boxwood, and then this is spring bouquet viburnum. This is the one I've struggled with some fungus issues, but I've kept on it pretty good with spray, so we've gotten some bloom this year that just finished. And these are some beech trees. Just trimmed this guy up. as it's grown to add some, oh, and I didn't put back I had a little wind chime thing on there I didn't put back up. Move that down here. And so I limbed it up to allow some more light in here. And we've got some what is it? A gladiator allium, which I've never grown allium before. So they might not be getting enough sun in here. I planted them before this leafed out, and the beech tree has really gotten big this year and providing a lot more shade. So hopefully these will be okay here. If not, I will move them, but they're looking okay. And we've got some more over here of the allium, and I've got peonies, which these also might not be getting enough sunlight now that my beech tree has really grown in here. But I've got some peonies over here, and we've got tons of buds on this guy. I counted the other day and I forget, but so many buds. And I got this from a friend, and it was pink at her house, and I transplanted it in July because they were changing out their garden bed, and then it came back in the next year with white flowers. So we'll see what it does this year. And I transplanted some echinacea here, so it's getting started. And this is the clematis that I transplanted, and it's growing. We had a bunny come and it ate off some of the lower branches here. And then here's another clematis over here that I transplanted from a shadier area as well. So I need to do some more training of this to get it going up over. And these were bulbs that I planted in the fall, and I have no idea what they are. I don't remember. I thought they were tulips, but I did not get any flowers on them. So I think maybe not enough sun, perhaps. So I might end up pulling those out. And there's some peony in here that were also divisions that I don't know that I'll get any blooms on this year. Maybe in the future. This was also a division that we are gonna have a nice peony there. And then spinning around here, we've got the Cotonou ester that grows on what we call our rock mountain at where the top of the creek, the waterfall starts up there. And pretty soon this will be full of white blossoms. So it'll be really pretty. So I'll make sure to show you guys that when that happens. And over here, we've got the Lithodora in bloom, and this was not looking so good. This had a lot of dead growth in it, and I didn't get it pruned back. But it's blooming, so that's pretty. And here is the Weeping River Birch, which I did a video on how to go in and pruning that. And it's filling in. The leaves will get bigger than that, so it's looking really pretty, kind of lacy now. I wish it stayed like that, but the leaves get a lot bigger. And I put in some begonias around here. They were a clearance pack at my local store, so they're not looking so good. I think it was too cold for them, or they got some bug on it, so I don't know. We'll see if they fill in. I think they'll bounce back. Begonias are pretty hardy. And going across our little bridge, we still are working. This is our pond project, so the waterfall starts up here and then it goes down. Our pump is broken, so we have to redo it. We need bigger pipes and stuff, so that'll come later on. But oh, I just noticed we have a ton of tadpoles. Well, I don't know if you guys can see those or not. There's a bunch of tadpoles in here. So lots of tree frogs, and we do have a bullfrog living in our pond, so there could be bullfrog tadpoles in there too. Oh, here's the white flowers from the Cotonou ester. So, oh, sorry about my shadow there, but really pretty. So all of them will be blooming like this very soon. And here's a view. Actually, I'll go up onto our rock mountain. Give you guys kind of a tour around. Give you a 360 of this beautiful day. So pretty. Hopefully you guys don't get dizzy. Sorry about that. Okay, let's head down to another spot. Here's my little north-facing kind of shaded area where we have our snowball viburnum and some skimmia down here, and some carex and some periwinkle, Vinca minor. So the snowball viburnum, it's starting to come into bloom. I've struggled with a viburnum leaf beetle. I've sprayed a couple times now, hoping to keep it from getting attacked, but we're seeing some stuff already. Oh goodness. Oh, sorry. The camera. Let's see what's in there eating this. Not seeing anything for sure, so it's hard to know. Got to stay on top of it though, because it will eat it down to lacy leaves like this. Lots of holes. I think that's something else though. I don't know. I hope it blooms and doesn't get eaten before then. So, and then we have the beautiful Pyrrhus still in bloom, and it smells so fragrant at night. Just beautiful. Pollinators love it. And this area, which I don't know if I've shown you this, I don't think so, since it was fully planted. So this is the little triangle area out off the corner of our boxwood room. So we've got some of the macrophylla hydrangeas. I put a little lamb's ear in. There's a phlox. This is a tricolored beech, which it's not, I was hoping to get some with green in the leaves, but I think it's the burgundy variety with the pink on the edges. So we'll see how that does as the leaves mature more. And we've got a pink knockout rose, which that always struggles with diseases. Oh, I just saw a little ladybug on there. Let's see. Hopefully there's no, oh yeah, here's the little, let's see if I can get in there. Cute little ladybug. There you are. Eat those aphids if there's any in there, but we've got some buds going on with it. And then I'm in my boxwood room, and I planted up the pots with some of the Luscious Lantana, the Royal Cosmo. So still waiting for that to flower. And the clematis, this is El Presidente, and it's got lots of buds on this side. And I put in the thyme, creeping thyme, and some ajuga in our little gated entryway. And this side, the El Presidente, it got trimmed back further, and so far I'm not seeing any buds. So I think oh wait, I take that back. We got one. Yay, got one. But we'll probably get the second flush later in the summer on that one. We'll miss out on the spring one. And here, my boxwood topiary, I think it needs a drink of water. The morning sun has made it wilt. It got a drink last night though, but it's got all this lush new green. And this is the boxwood that I got from a friend that had, if you can see in here, a lot of spider mite damage. And so I've been treating it, and it's really, this is the best it's looked since I've gotten it. So super happy. Hopefully that new growth will harden off and I'll be able to trim it again. And we've got our weeping cherry. And going into the pond area. And this is my vegetable garden, fruit garden. Have the new clematis that are growing up here on the trellis, and some daylilies. Those will bloom in July. Just have some garlic planted. I left some dahlias in here, which I think they've gotten eaten or maybe mush. I don't know yet, but I've left them. We'll see what happens with them. And the strawberries, I have these Dollar Tree waste baskets that I put over the strawberries, and here we have those weeds. Like I said, I haven't had time to weed. Goodness. Got to get out here. But the deer usually come through and eat these down, and because of having these little cloches on them, They have not. So we've got tons and tons of blooms, and little baby strawberries gonna happen in June. We've got a mix of everbearing and June bearing strawberries in here. Oh shoot, you can see the deer came through. The ones I didn't have cloches on, they ate the tops of the leaves off. And the few, oh man, they just came in. Sorry, I just noticed that today. We were out here last night and they were gorgeous. And I'm like, oh good, the deer haven't come through. And now they have. Darn deer. So same with my raspberries. They looks like they stripped off some of the leaves here. I have bird netting over the top that worked well to keep the deer out of it last year. But, well, luckily, I guess they didn't eat the strawberry flowers on some of these. They just ate the leaves. And this, we are growing weeds, apparently, along with a little bit of lettuce here. And we'll head to the pond. Ooh, we've got an azalea coming into bloom. See if we have any fish. Here's another azalea. That'll be a couple weeks out. Another azalea. No fish I see today. We're spinning around the pond here. We're in the shade right now. We're kind of at midday. Lots of pretty color this morning. Ooh, and our golden chain tree is starting to blossom. Let's head over there. So our golden chain tree is leaning. We had it strapped, but we took it off when we had our plant swap. But I think it needs to be strapped again. It looked a little more leany the other day, but it's starting. That's kind of hard to see with the lighting, but it's gonna start to bloom probably in the next couple days because we're getting a lot hotter weather. Really pretty. I'll have to share a picture of that when it does. And we've got hostas all coming in. This is a big blue hosta that takes a little longer to come in. Looks like the deer also got my heuchera. And the shade garden area, we've got Solomon seal and hosta, heuchera, ferns. These are a native to Washington. This is our local native bleeding heart. So it's naturalized in here. Nice, really pretty ferny leaves there. Really pretty. On the other side of the back of the pond, got a Japanese maple. It's really pretty lacy leaves. You can see there, really pretty. Nice light. This is one of my favorite areas on hot days. I can come back here and it usually stays really shaded. I can rest on my bench here, do a little weeding, cool down, have a drink. Really lovely. The skimmia is putting on a lot of new growth. It's just finishing up flowering. And we've got some anemone, little white anemone. Really, oops, I just broke one. Sorry, anemone. More nice, luscious hosta. Really coming in, the ferns coming in. That's some tassel fern. Got some sweet box. Really pretty. Love this area. And I have not set up my furniture in our gazebo or on my patio yet. Haven't put up the umbrellas because we get a lot of rain, and this is like the first week we've had sun, but I need to do that. And here we've got some Brennera that's kind of finishing up its flowers. Really, really pretty. And we've got some calla lily coming in behind it. And this is an azalea that I transplanted, and it was not happy for a long time. And it's got some buds on it. It's a salmon colored azalea, so I hope we get some flowers on it, and then I think I will reshape it and trim it back, and hopefully we'll get a better shape going on with it. And this is the Trombley Red Sentinel Maple that's new. So it's still a baby, but it's getting there. And another azalea. You see this one. I'm so bad with names of plants. I left the tags. I often leave the tags on it, but this is an evergreen azalea, Blue Danube. So really pretty. Another skimmia. We've got some stilby that I transplanted. Wasn't happy underneath the evergreen trees. This is my clearance Walmart indoor hydrangea that they had, and it's got some new growth on it, but it was looking really sad when I got it, but hopefully it will do okay. And we've got a very young oak leaf hydrangea that still has to put on a lot of growth. And this is an ever red rhododendron, which I had in the front yard, and it was not happy at all with me because I did not take good care of it. It got probably a fungus and not enough water, too much light, but it's a really cool variety in that the underside of the leaves are red. So I took it out of where it was, put it in a pot, and it's much happier. It's putting on a lot of new growth. So hopefully I'll get it looking better, and then I'll find a permanent location. It might be here. I put it here in a pot to see if it liked this and grows well, and so far it's doing good. So we'll see. Oh, and this, I think this is a golden chain tree baby. Cute. We'll leave that there and see what happens with it. And another privet that I had pruned into a cloud form. So that's looking good, putting on a lot of new growth. Another Brennera. Still have an empty spot for this. I'm gonna get a shrub, I think, for that. We've got some loose strife in here and some lamb's ear, and this prairie fire crabapple is done. It's new this year, and it bloomed, and the blooms only lasted for like a week, maybe, really fast. I gotta get out and water these boxwoods. These are transplanted. This one's not looking so good. Gotta get some water to those guys. They may make it, they may not. We'll see. And then the perennial bed that I planted on another video, which I can link that up above so you could see that if you want. Oh, let me step back. These were some hollyhock, little hollyhock seeds I put in. So they're looking cute. And over here we've got the poppy seeds that I put in there, and gotten lots of poppies. We'll have to thin those out. And the dappled willow. And the topiary hydrangea. And over here, don't mind all the construction stuff. Remember, our pond project is still under construction. But we've gotten some tulips I planted in here. These were beautiful orange ones that they're done, but the purple ones are putting on a show. And my serviceberry just finished blooming, and hopefully we'll get some berries. We'll see. This will be the first year if we do. I just planted it last year. And we'll head up to our construction zone. But we're looking at putting flagstone, and we had some of this, and so my husband's figuring out if he likes it and what we're going to do about it. And this is the kind of the rockery area where I've put in some plants in here. They also need some water. Sorry guys, I've been busy this week. Poor plants. And we're back to behind the chicken coop area and underneath some hemlock. And I've done my best to weed. I've still got some more weeds in here. McGregor and I have been helping weed in here. So I still got my weed bucket there. But these are some false lily of the valley that just came up here. They were planted by the previous owner, I think. And this year, this foxglove, if you can see, this is all foxglove. There were little teeny tiny babies early spring, and I could tell they were foxglove. And so I've left them. And I have no idea where they came from. I don't know if, you know, I put a foxglove flower over here, but just tons of seeds, which we never had foxglove in here before. So it's kind of fun. So I've left it. I'm trying to weed around it. This area gets tons of weeds. So, you know, you do what you can. But here is McGregor's garden with his little fire pit there. We apologize for the messy chairs. We were out here last night enjoying the sunshine. But we got his blueberries and the strawberries. And we planted some spinach and carrots in here and some radishes. So the radishes have already popped up. So there's a little baby radish. Let's see. This was the spinach side. So we've got a little bit of spinach coming up. Yeah. This side was carrots. So far, not seeing any carrots. There's some weeds coming up because this was compost that I made. So it was not weed free. And here is the Walla Walla onions and some kale. Here's some more radishes. Right there, right there, right there. Weed. And then, and our peas. Our peas have come up too. Lots of cute little baby peas. So that's good. Those were old seeds from a couple years ago. So happy to see those come up. We planted them a little thicker so that we could thin them in case they didn't germinate. To update you on this rhododendron, one of my first videos I did for my channel was on the rhododendron bud blast, which is a fungal disease that affects the buds so that it ends up not blooming. And let me show you the blooms that we have now. In that video I went through and I pulled off all the diseased buds that were just brown and on here, which obviously I did not get them all. Because here is one I missed. There were a ton on here from several years because I neglected this thing. So this is down by the creek, so it doesn't always get the attention that it needs. But you can see there's still some buds that have not opened and they are soft in the middle. And the bud blast, if you can see, there we go. It's got these little hairy kind of things on there. And that is a telltale sign of bud blast. So I should come through probably and pull these off and put them on the burn pile. But I'm going to give it a little more time to see if any more of them open. Because like this one, it's just starting to open. So some of these might still open yet. We'll see. But happy that we got some of the growth that we did. I did not spray, just hoping that removing the dead buds would get enough of the fungus off of there that they would be okay. So if I keep at it, I think we might get it under control. And this other one, which is the same variety, had the same issues. I only took off maybe from this section, and then I didn't come back and do the rest, and yet it's still getting some bloom too. So happy about that. So we're in the backyard, heading towards the creek. This is a native dogwood to the northwest, really pretty white blossoms. The thing I don't like about it though is it holds on to its leaves. So you just see these dead leaves all fall, all winter, and then there's at some point they fall off, I guess. I don't know. But the flowers are just beautiful. Look at that. So pretty. And then this is our Cleveland pear that we lost the whole top, and I left it. It's broken branches, but it did bloom. So we'll see if it's putting out some new growth. We'll see if it makes a new leader. And the river birch also lost a lot of branches in our snow and ice storm this winter. but it's leafing in. And I've got hydrangea that I put underneath. And I've got some friends that are going to also be gifting me some other colors. I just have this variegated variety, but I'm hoping to put some blue and some chartreuse in here, and also maybe some Japanese anemone along the back, and let it just kind of grow in. You can see we've got a ton of bindweed. This is a morning glory weed, and you just have to keep at it. I've heard pulling it makes it worse, but I do it anyway because I don't want it to flower and seed. So, and the other things down here, we've got a golden privet, which is starting to get some new leaves. It does stay evergreen, but then it drops some of its old leaves to make way for this beautiful new growth. Really pretty. And it does produce these dark berries, which the birds eat. We've got a red weigela, some cedar trees, and a kuba. And these are some Davidii viburnum, which the last several years totally ignored them. I think they got that viburnum leaf beetle as well. A lot of bad damage on the leaves. I think I picked most of them off. Let me see, like here. You can see all this leaf damage. So I sprayed these this year, really cut them back, mulched really well, and I've gotten some blossoms now. So loving that. Hopefully they'll bounce back. And then this tree, if you can see it back here, that is a native vine maple. That just made its way there. So really pretty native growth. I'll take you down to our creek. Okay, we're walking down to our creek. This is a salmon creek that we live on. And it is, I didn't get the mower down here the other day when I got to mowing, so it is very overgrown and very meadow-like, but kind of pretty. We still have some wood piles to burn. There's another big giant pile there, but it's so pretty down here. I did come through on an earlier video, early this spring, and cut out a lot of the blackberry because this was all overgrown with blackberry. We do have this canary reed grass that also grows up, which gets really tall, but I'm hoping to be able to mow it and keep it in check. That this area here is our little beach. We got a little sandy beach that my son and I spent some time last night enjoying the evening sunshine. I think we're planning on doing a little picnic dinner out here tonight. It's so soothing and calming. I just love it. So pretty. The plastic is to try and keep the canary reed grass down. It keeps blowing away in the wind though, so not so good. But spin you around to see the view up towards the house. Oh, I'll take you over here too, past the burn pile. And still working on this area with the blackberry and canary reed grass. I won't be able to probably mow up here, but I'll have to weed whack. But I did plant a dappled willow over here it should get bigger and kind of fill in this whole spot, but it should be a nice spot for it. And we've got some salmonberry that are native. So all of this growth down here is all just native stuff. We've got some stinging nettles, which this is really good for arthritis, and people like to make it into tea. It's very nutritious plant, lots of minerals in it. We've got buttercup, we've got Robert's geranium, which is kind of a weed here. They also known as stinky bob, but I actually like the smell. Some people don't. This is a salmonberry, which usually has pink blossoms for the fruit, which I don't see any here. We've got some native heuchera, little coral bells. We've got some angelica, which has yellow flowers on it. Arch angelica, I think. More stinky bob. And that is that vine maple, which is so pretty. And some red alder And then these, I need to come down, get rid of these. This is knotweed, Japanese knotweed, which is an invasive weed, and you have to really keep on it. This whole corner was full of it when we first moved in. And my husband, because it made really pretty white flowers, he thought it was really pretty and we didn't know what it was yet. And so he said, oh, just leave it. Well, then of course it spreads seeds everywhere. So I come through and it has these kind of roots. Pull those out as much as I can. You can spray them, but I found that if I just keep on it, pulling them out, that it helps. Get this last one. This one got big. And we have this all mulched, with bark. And I transplanted a bunch of fern in here, some sword fern, native sword fern. This one was here, this was big. But these little guys, I put those in here. And they're looking pretty good. So hopefully they'll fill in and take over for that knotweed. We're in the front yard and we've got 3 rhododendrons. This is a purple one, got the white one and the pink one, and they're starting to come into bloom. They come into bloom at different times. So the white one's first, then the pink, and then the purple. And don't look at the weed whacking that needs to be done or all the weeds. This is kind of the area I ignore because we lost my Coosa dogwood that was there, Priscilla. And I'm still kind of upset by it because that was really the centerpiece of our front yard. So it looks really boring and plain to me now. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do here. But I will show you before we get over there. I will show you here along the side of our garage. We've got some black-eyed Susans that are coming up. I transplanted this clematis, Jackmani, I think is the variety, and it's doing pretty well, making lots of new growth on it. Haven't seen any buds yet, just putting on lots of new growth. But usually it gets smaller purple flowers all summer long. So we'll see how it likes this spot where it's gonna get that full afternoon sun. It might not like it, so we'll see. I'm hoping that the black-eyed Susans will fill in a little around the root ball and keep it cooler. And here is the boxwood in front, which was really damaged. I pruned out it was all like this or worse. And I pruned that all out, and it is flushed with brand new growth. So it's got that really soft, new growth. We got to let harden off. I missed out on my window of opportunity to get them pruned before they put on their new growth. So I'll have to wait a little while longer. Or maybe not at all, we'll see. But underneath our star magnolia, we've got the heather, and weeds, lots of weeds. And it doesn't look so good. The star magnolia drops all the flower petals and then the leaf petal, or the leaves, and I don't get it all cleaned out all the time, so I think it's not so good on the heather. So I might redo the plants that I have underneath them to something that dies back. Here's where that dogwood was. Again, don't look at all the weeds. I still have to come in and edge this and get the weeds out. Miss my poor little dogwood. And then here's the front of the house. And I pruned those spirals. I did a video for you guys on that. And another weeping cherry. We got some holly, some potentilla in the corner there. This holly has done really well. I keep it pruned into the hedge form. My Nandia this year, not so good. A lot of dead, some sort of fungus or something in it, a lot of dead leaves. But I've got new growth, so I'm hoping it will come back. They're a pretty hardy plant. And my spiral, ouch, juniper, it's putting on some new growth in here. And my pots, I took out the primroses. I had some white primroses in there, and I put those in my shade garden. Left the pansies for now. They'll fade. I'll probably put some geranium or maybe some lantana. I haven't decided yet. Actually, I think I did decide. I think I still need one more Royal Cosmo Lantana that I will put in there. And I did get to edging this front bed here. Still need to put some bark in. Had a gift from a friend, which it's a Shasta daisy. We'll see how that does in this spot. And here's some more of that Nandia that not looking so sharp. And we get a lot of mole activity. If you see here, nice mole tunnel. So they undermine, let's squish that down. They undermine the plants here and can cause death. So that Nandia is looking okay. That one, not so much. We've got some scarlet bee balm here. Another juniper ball topiary. There's the vegetable and fruit garden. My compost piles, my shed, and then this area is the last to show you in the front garden. And this is another prairie fire crabapple, which is still in bloom. So this has been here several years, and it doesn't get enough sun because of the fir trees that block it. So I did a little more pruning on those last year, but it usually will really reach for the sun. So it's not the best location for it, unfortunately. I thought about digging it out and moving it to where I put the other one, but I don't think that would have survived. So, but it's, you know, this area is looking pretty. I've got some hellebore still in bloom, some daylilies, some more heather. This one's looking good. So you can tell the difference. This heather doesn't have the heavy leaves that fall down on it. It's got some, but not as heavy as the star magnolia, and it'll bloom. And this is some false spirea. I've got a panicle hydrangea there that's just leafing out, another cuba. This is another one of my old boxwood balls that I transplanted here that's got some fungus issues. We'll see if it makes it or not. I need to water it. And some scarlet bee balm here. And I think that's it for the tour today. Do another pan of the front. And down to our pasture. Gorgeous day. Thanks so much for tuning into our May tour today. I hope you enjoyed it and got to see all the beautiful blooms and all the lush green. Sorry it was, you know, not as cleaned up or tidy as I would like, but I just wanted to share it with you. And when I get some more time to get out here and really get things cleaned up more, I will take you through another tour and we can see what's in bloom then. Everything just goes through so fast, right? The cycles and what's in bloom and then fades and then you get something new. So it's just a really fun time of year out in your garden. I hope you're enjoying yours as well. And if you like the video, don't forget to give it that thumbs up and comment below if you want to see anything different or have any questions. And also you can click that subscribe button, then you can see any new videos that I post. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.